We're just waiting to see if they actually will approach. Well, let's go ahead and listen.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. For one time in my life, I'm kind of lost at words, believe that or not. Look, first of all, I want to thank 18 jurors.
Yeah.
I cannot thank them enough. I'm sure everybody has paid attention in court.
Speak it, get it here closer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure everyone has paid attention in court. I want to personally thank and I want to personally hug every one of those jurors. What they went through, what they saw, is mind-boggling. I hope that nobody ever has to go through this. I hope nobody ever has to see and hear the details of what happened to JJ, to Tylee, and to Tammy. Guys, we got 2 more trials. 2 more.
3. Charles, Chad, and Brandon.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I mean,
well,
Charles
okay.
is in Arizona.
Yeah.
Brandon's in Arizona. And
the next trial is Chad. I look forward to being back in this courthouse again if that happens. I hope everybody is here again. I hope that y'all appreciate so much the court system, how meticulous the prosecution was. I think everybody will agree it was amazing job by all of them. And I want y'all to know that even the defense, I shook their hands. I have said many times, I want a fair, honest, and righteous decision. I think we had 18 jurors that all deserve our appreciation, our love, and they gave an honest, fair, and righteous verdict.
You guys really embraced each other in there at the reading of the verdict. What did you say to each other in that moment?
I love you. What else can you say?
Larry, what was it like walking out, seeing all the law enforcement officers in the hallway?
It was.
Do what?
What was it like walking out, seeing all of the law enforcement officers who have spent countless hours?
Oh, I know. We would be nowhere without them.
You know, as much as I have said up here about the prosecution, the defense, the jurors.
Over here, too. There's people over here, too.
Nate, you made an absolute great statement. We have to appreciate, support our law enforcement officials. Those guys sacrificed from their families, from their homes. We will never know the countless hours that they have put in, how much sacrifice they have gone through, and most of all, what they have seen in this case that maybe some people will never unsee. I I love them. I appreciate them. There's not one of these guys I wouldn't go in a dark alley with. I cannot thank them enough. Next question.
Larry, what is your final message to Lori Vallow?
My final message to Lori. Y'all ready? Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Lori, it ended.
Hey, what about you? How are you doing today? Can you tell us what
Yeah.
it's like for Fox?
Can I have a minute?
Yeah, you go.
We are elated with this. There was some doubt we would get all of them, all guilties, but we did it. The prosecution is amazing. The law enforcement is amazing. They became our family, and we're keeping most of them for the rest of our life as family. And even you news people, we've made great friends with you guys. And
Journalist.
news journalists. Anyway, it's great. Our JJ now, maybe we can get him and put him to rest, as well as Tylee, and do right by them, and we'll see how that works. But anyway, we're so grateful, and we thank all of y'all for your support, and we would never be here without y'all. And so many people have reached out to us, and I mean, I have to tell y'all, we even got a message from someone in Tasmania that is following this case. So it's all over the world, and we appreciate all of you, and thank you, and God bless America, because we're grateful we live here. Thank you.
Love always wins.
Yeah.
Hey,
Love always wins.
love always wins. How many times we heard that? I do have one other statement I'd like to make, believe it or not. I do. I forgot one of the most important things.
Thank you.
Ray, what would I do without you? I have one more statement. JJ, I love you. Papa, wish you were here in other circumstances. Tylee, Papa loves you. Tammy, I never met you. Tammy, you are part of our life. Tammy, I am sorry for what happened to you. My heart hurts. My heart hurts for these three. This is what this has been all about from the very get-go. It started with 2 children missing. And I stood up and I said, where are the children? Where are the children? Where are the children? Give us back our children. We're not ending this. This is not the end of this. 90 days from today, we will probably meet in Fremont County. The sentence will be handed down. And I'm going to say right now what I'm going to say in 3 months. Why, Lori? Why, Lori? Why?
Power, sex, and greed.
Power, sex, and greed. For what? For what? Power, sex, and greed. That's all it was. And JJ, Papa misses you. I miss you. So,
Hey, let's let Jerry say something to
Okay, I have one more
thank
question
y'all.
for you. Can you just talk
Okay,
about the
yeah. Get somebody in that's pretty.
Look, here, real quick.
They got the bitch. Hell yeah.
My brother Jerry.
That's all I got to say about it.
Jerry is very bashful, and he doesn't talk much, but he talks a lot.
Talk about the mixed emotions you guys have to be feeling today. There's celebrate, but also.
Absolutely.
We have been listening to the grandparents of J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan outside the courthouse in Boise, Idaho. Their mother was found guilty in their deaths, along with Tammy Daybell, the Lori Vallow Daybell's wife of her first husband. Sorry, that was a little confusing. We want to bring in Jessica Levinson, who's been watching this with us. Jessica, we watched the grandfather. He got very emotional. He went by Pawpaw when he was talking about his grandchildren. He said he wanted to thank all of the 18 jurors personally and to hug them for what they went through and what they had to see during this trial. Could you just talk a little bit about that? Because this was an extremely emotional trial, and it sounds like it was extremely graphic for these jurors.
It was. And I think he acknowledged there are some things that they may never be able to unsee and unhear. And let's remember, at its core, this is a case about a mother murdering her children. And in this case, as we discussed before, the murders were grisly in the sense that one of the child's bodies was burned, another child asphyxiated, and these are very graphic details that the jury heard about. And that's not the end of the story here. I mean, it was bizarre. It was heart-wrenching. Again, they heard from other members of the family who said they believe that Lori Vallow did, in fact, kill her children. They heard, in fact, I think maybe most impactfully from her only surviving son, who said, I think my mother, and he directed these statements to her, I think you killed my younger children and, my younger siblings, and why did you do that? So the family here acknowledged that the jury went through a long 7-week trial. There was a lot of evidence, a lot of really emotional testimony, and then, of course, the description of the dead children's bodies. I mean, that is just going to be horrific for any person.
Yeah, and to hear the grandfather speak, you could just feel that emotion emanating from him. Jessica, stand by. We're going to bring in Chris Van Cleve, who was actually in the courtroom and is following this. Chris, pretty clear the toll this has taken on the extended family, as we heard from the grandfather. I know you're there. You have been covering this. What more can you tell us after hearing what it is that the family has endured?
I'll be right here for now.
Well, I think you've got to put yourselves in their position, listening to some of the graphic testimony, some of the images that are part of a murder trial, and being here day in and day out. That's been a very difficult process for them. We heard here that they feel like justice has been served. Of course, that doesn't bring back the lives lost here, and they're going to have to relive this horror again and again, because there are several more criminal trials to come. They were grateful to law enforcement. They, at great length, praised the police. In fact, as officers walked out here, the crowd and the family cheered them as the detectives in this case left the courtroom. So, it is a mix of emotions for them. There's reason to celebrate, but also, what you're celebrating is a murder conviction for the killing of their grandchildren, and that is bittersweet at the very best.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can just, again, feel that rawness. And it's really difficult to fathom what that must have been like to hear all of those details. Well, Jessica Levinson, Chris Van Cleve, our thanks to both of you. We're going to take a short break. We will be right back. This is CBS News.
If It's important to our nation.
I wonder how you think about where America is at this moment.
It's on Face the Nation.
Can there be stability if Vladimir Putin remains in power?
Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan on CBS.
America Decides, taking you inside American democracy.
The most important stories on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour basis.
You're going to hear a lot of reporting.
It is clearly a pivotal moment.
Gun control, the economy, education. Both sides of the political aisle fight it out for power.
Bringing you the analysis that you need.
Thoughtfully, with context.
Be part of the conversation.
On CBS News Streaming.
Welcome to America Decides.
An original documentary from CBS reports.
I always tell people that Twitter would not be Twitter without Black Twitter. It's just us being in fellowship with each other.
And it becomes a conversation you don't want to be left out of.
People really started to recognize the power of activism on Twitter.
Based on that one tweet, the hashtag Oscar So White was trending around the world.
If anything has really powered Black Twitter, it's been humor.
If your food ain't right, oh, we're gonna tell you about that too.
We tend to create change, create culture and cool.
That's how movements happen on Black Twitter and go beyond more than that.
Black Twitter, the Twitterverse that changed a generation. Now streaming on the free CBS News app.
When weather turns extreme.
The threat of severe weather and dangerous tornadoes is expected to last.
CBS News and the Weather Channel bringing virtual weather technology so advanced, so real.
Let's bring in our partners at the Weather Channel.
Now 6 feet of water, imagine that. Cars that can act like battering rams.
These hyper-realistic simulations show you what the weather will look and feel like before it happens.
Feel the forecast, streaming on CBS News.
An original documentary from CBS reports.
The carnage in our nation's schools has become painfully repetitive.
Now one more child!
School shootings have parents fighting mad.
I promised my daughter I was gonna fight. It's gonna keep on happening.
And teachers taking lessons in how to fight back.
This is an exercise.
We approach it as it's you or them.
It shouldn't have to be your teacher's job to protect your life.
But will the battle over gun control,
people are afraid that they're going to lose their gun rights altogether,
be the hardest lesson of all?
The exercise, you're having to shoot at an adult. Are you prepared to have to kill one of your students?
Guns in the Classroom, now streaming on the free CBS News app.
Everybody wakes up in the morning and they are pelted with alerts that frighten them, news that agitates them. With this show, we have the time to explain what's going on. Here's a deeper understanding of what's happening.
Primetime with John Dickerson. Stream on the free CBS News app.
America Decides, taking you inside American democracy.
The most important stories on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour basis.
You're going to hear a lot of reporting.
It is clearly a pivotal moment.
Gun control, the economy, education. Both sides of the political aisle fight it out for power.
Bringing you the analysis that you need.
Thoughtfully, with context.
Be part of the conversation.
On CBS News Streaming.
Welcome to America Decides, Monday through Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Families of the victims killed in last year's mass shooting at a supermarket in Buffalo, New York, are suing multiple social media companies in connection to the attack. Sunday marks 1 year since the deadly incident. It's the worst mass shooting in the city's history. A white gunman traveled to the neighborhood and killed 10 black people. The group says social media played a role in radicalizing the shooter. The suspect has since pleaded guilty to 15 counts, including domestic terrorism, first-degree murder, and